Okay. Hi. Welcome to tonight's team call. We're going to talk more about what to do when someone says they want to know more and kind of how you can help guide them the best way. This is something that will change per person that you're talking to, just depending on their goals and how you want to help them and guide them. And so I'm also going to ask your opinion and your ideas. And so if there's something that works really well with you, I know Talia was sharing some questions earlier, and just if there's anything that really helps you help people when they say, yeah, I'm ready to get started, because sometimes we get excited and we want to share all the things, but it's actually best to really ask them questions, ask them a little bit deeper, like why that's important to them, why those things are their goals, and then go from there. But I wanted to start with sharing some wins or personal development takeaways from this week. So if anyone would like to unmute themselves or share in the chat, and we can share. And I'm going to post on the team page really quick just to make sure.
I had a minor win.
Hey.
One of my challengers who currently is taking somebody else's supplements finally bought her first bag of Shakeology.
Hey.
So I was happy and, offered to suggest one, but I was like really surprised, and I was just she's turning a leaf, and yeah.
That's exciting. She sees your belief and she sees the value of it.
Yeah, so I was just confused about my Success Club points, and I was like, oh, Shakeology. But yeah.
Because HD, because you get 2 points for just Shakeology as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, I did know that, but I had just forgot. I didn't know if they went and did it all by themselves that you still got that. So I was like, oh my goodness.
Yay. That's exciting. Anyone else have anything they want to share?
Yes. So I have a challenger. Her name's Kelly, and she's doing T20. She has a lot of like emotional issues, and she was tired of like just being yo-yo with her weight and stuff. And she's been basically in touch with me every day. And I love it because every day she has like a little bit more progress and a little bit more progress. And I thought that was really cool that she is like seeing those changes. And then the other thing with one of my other challengers, she posted in the Fit Boss Culture group, and she was like, I never thought that I would enjoy dinner with vegetables so much. Thank you, Talia, for introducing this like way of life for me. And it was really cool because she and I went to college together. We were sorority sisters, and she's like put on all this weight, and she has like all these gut issues, and she's like, she has a autistic child who has to go to a lot of therapies and like all this stuff. And she's like, I'm just always tired and I can't keep up with him, and we want to have another one, but I'm not healthy. So like hearing that was like really special, that she's like feeling better, and just, I don't know. So
that's awesome. Overall, like feeling like she's more confident in everything. Yay. I love hearing your wins. Yay. Thank you for sharing. I was gone this weekend, and so getting back today, I'm just proud of myself for doing things today and getting back to it, because I got home like midday yesterday and was just like exhausted. But I also wanted to share the leaderboard this month already. Everyone in the top coaches last week, Brittany, Bran, myself, Talia, and Shannon. And I'm just proud of everyone for consistently showing up. I mean, we have the holidays, we have another lockdown around us, and I know that there's other places that have been locked down. So just reminding yourself that our community matters, and, sharing about how mental health is so valuable right now, so important. If people need a place or a space, we're going to do a 7-day gratitude challenge, just a free group. I think I'm just going to do it on my Instagram. I'm not sure that I'm actually going to make like another Facebook group for it, because the content is really shareable on your Instagram stories. and then they can just tag you once they have done their gratitude. I think I'm going to tell people I'm just going to post it the night before so they have access to it the day before or the next day. And then also I wanted to shout out Brittany Powers, 6-time elite team. So exciting. And her birthday is today too. And also happy birthday to Katie. I know we have a few birthdays on the team today, and Gabby's is tomorrow. So there's a lot of November birthdays. But yeah, so proud of her and her hard work. And she's just always crushing it. Okay, so the replay I hear is amazing. I still need to watch the replay. I didn't get around to doing that today. But I don't know if you guys know exactly who he is. He is a Canadian coach, and he actually got into Beachbody before his wife. So his wife actually was super skeptical of Beachbody and the coaching opportunity and all that. And he was like, he had a brick and mortar that got shut down because of some stuff that happened with the business partners, and they do full-time Beachbody, but he actually suffered from a heart attack. I think it was now a year. It's been a year. But his wife was like doing a team call, and his daughter, found him. And so I just admire like their strength and what they do and how they lead their community. His wife is super vulnerable too. You guys might be familiar with her as well. So catch the replay. I'm going to do the replay tomorrow. So if anyone needs to watch the replay or wants to rewatch it, I'm just going to start it tomorrow. We can all watch it together in the team page. And then again, just important dates. If you are doing the 9-week Control Freak, I know that he talked a lot about that on the National Wake Up Call. So go back, listen to that. I know Evie shared in the team page the 3-step process and all that so that we can really use that and all the things. Okay, so we're going to talk about, so they want to join, now what, and kind of ways that you can do that. I'm going to stop my share again just because I like seeing everyone's faces and we can all contribute, but I might share my screen again if we want to type things down and you guys can take a picture of it. Do you guys want me to do that? If we can like brainstorm, because I wanted to brainstorm so that way we can just kind of do it together. Okay, so first things first is say you reach out to someone and they're like, okay, I want to know now what this looks like for me and all that. So what I always say is, I'm so excited to help you. In order for us to save some time and see if this is the best fit for you, would it be okay with you if I asked a few questions? And they're always like, of course, ask whatever. I've never had someone tell me no for asking more questions. So this is just a way for them to know that you're going to be asking them questions about their goals first. So it's like you don't want to just like not address the subject of them wanting to know more. Like you're letting them know that you're going to help them. You're just going to help them in figuring out, because everyone's goals are different. So then they're going to say yes. And there's a few things you can do. You can either start asking them more questions, or what people have been doing lately is directing them to a form. So you can have your form and you can say, great, is it, I want to ask you more questions, but I'm going to send you this form. And then from there, we will talk more. Because that form's going to have questions on it that's going to help you best serve their goals. And then it's also a place of organization for you, because then you will have all your people in one place. Okay? So, but if you're like a brand new coach, I would just start with asking people questions, and the form will come when you feel like that's a thing that you can do. Okay, so again, decide what's best for you. I just know some people like having the form and some people like asking the questions. And maybe actually, Talia, do you want to put in the questions in the chat box? Or I can too, the ones that you posted in the group, because then that way, because another great thing that I've actually done for the last 7 years is also get people on the phone. So if you feel confident enough to get someone on the phone, you can ask them the questions on there. So you have the form, and then from there you can say, okay, so I saw on the form that you said X, Y, and Z. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Like, tell me more about that, or tell me more about why that is important to you, and so forth. And then once you have, so if you still feel like you need to know more, ask more questions. Like if you don't feel like you have the solution for them, it talks about how in John Maxwell's book, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions, about how you just keep asking questions until you know enough. And then you can say, okay, based on what you told me, it sounds like this is the bundle that would best fit your goals. And I always just send them 2 options. Whichever bundle that I think is best for them, you'll send them the first option, that's just the one with Shakeology, or Energize and Recover for a month. And the option that includes Energize, Recover, and Shakeology, all 3 for the month. And 90% of the time, they choose the bundle that has all 3 of them. So it is gonna take time. Conversations and helping people doesn't just happen overnight. And I would love if someone else wants to unmute and talk about kind of how they go through their messages, or if that's something that they also do, or what that kind of looks like for you. I know some of us kind of do it similar, and I don't really use a script personally. I just kind of feel it out per conversation. And I'm always more than happy to help with conversations. You can post in the team page. You guys can post in, and a lot of people already do post in like our group chats and things like that to get feedback, because that will also help you kind of build that confidence when it comes to talking to people and having these conversations. I started out bombarding people with like this long of messages about everything, and I've definitely learned how to kind of just talk. So I also try and talk less. So I try and have them talk 70% of the time and myself 30% of the time. So that's something that I always kind of keep in the back of my head is, oh my God, she's so cute. Is that helpful? Is that like what you guys do, or what other things did I miss or have worked for you?
Like I got this from you, like always asking them what their day looks like and when they have time. So you're already pre-thinking about what time they're going to work out during the day, because generally it's people try to stick to like the same time frame. And yeah, just asking what their day looks like and seeing when they're going to put the time in. If they want, I've asked like, do you want to do the sample together? I haven't really had anybody say yes to that one yet, but I think that one's like, you know, do you want to try this sample, or do you want to do something together? And then I haven't done a phone call, but like the info Zoom meeting. So it's less like word vomit and like voicing. I feel like I always do get scared, but it just is so much easier, because even though you talk for a whole minute, it's not as intense as like seeing like something like this pop up and be like, oh, where's the emotion in it, you know, and like the feeling and the care.
Yes, I love that. It's so true. Finding out their schedule, and like Talia said in her questions, like how long can they work out? You know, what is that time frame look like for them? Because then that can help you gauge. You know, there are so many programs to choose from. Like, which one do you choose? And one, especially with 9-week Control Freak, you know, that's something you can be thinking about too, and introducing people to. And I love Brianne says, I love getting on FaceTime people or voice messages. That's another thing. So voicing people back instead of, you know, a message. So Molly, you said that, I don't know if you're asking the questions in like a text, but maybe just sending them a simple voice message and saying, hey, like, did you get my last message? I have my next group starting. And this is great that you said that, because this leads into following up. So if they don't respond, that's okay. I never like assume that they're ignoring me for like any reason other than maybe they have a kid and they open the messages and like they totally forgot. And so that actually helps them remember, oh, I needed, you know, to respond to her. And hearing your voice really shows more emotion and that you care. And I always say, hey, I don't know if you got my last message. My next group is starting in a few days, and I didn't want you to miss it if it was still something that you were interested in, and I would love to still help you with your goals. And then, you know, going from there. And then if they don't respond, then, you know, we can talk about more of like what you would do next. I usually would wait a little bit longer, probably like another month, and then follow up again. And then if not, just be like, okay, it sounds like it's probably not the best time for you. I'll be here for you whenever you're ready. My door's always open. And then I just leave it at that. I don't usually keep. And then they go on my like every 3-month or 6-month follow up. I still follow up with them, but I don't do it like consistently like I had been. And yeah, I do like Zoom too. I mean, FaceTime works too, but you can always get on Zoom. Because sometimes it feels more professional that way too. Like here's my Zoom ID login. I'll send you. And I don't know what you use for like your follow-up system, but you can use pen and paper, like if that's what works for you. You can use Google Streak. You can use like your forms. That's why I think having forms are great, because then you can highlight people's names. So like with I was saying, I don't actually recreate my forms every month. What I do is I just go in and I change the header and like the title of the form. That way my form still has every single person that's filled it out. It's just changed over the years. So yeah, so Streak really, really helps with following up that way, because that's where things happen. I mean, I swear people join me on a follow-up. It's rarely the first time that someone joins me unless they're like seriously ready, because they've actually been watching me for a long time. And that's okay if you don't have one right now. I would just start. Make sure that you're just writing people's name, even if you just write their names down on a piece of paper, and then go back to that page in, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you can follow up with them then. But yeah, just find something that works for you, because following up is definitely important.
I have a suggestion for follow-up.
Go for it.
So I don't, sorry if you hear the banging.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. We all have kids.
Okay. So what I do, because I have a hard time like writing names down, because I don't ever go back to for some reason. And that, you do what works for you, because some people are like live by pen and paper, but like I know for me, to make it easy for myself, I go on when I'm on Instagram and I'm like having messages and conversations. If it's a conversation that I know that I've invited the person, or I know I'm going to invite the person, or I've already done it, so I want to go back to it, I will flag the conversation and then just go back into my flagged conversations. And then people that I haven't responded to in a while, I can go back and say, oh, I haven't talked to that person. Okay. And then I just kind of go through it that way, so that that's kind of how I've kept up with some follow-ups too, just because it's easier. And then you can kind of do everything within Instagram if you're using Instagram too. I don't know about Facebook, but Instagram for sure.
Yeah, and flagging and also moving them to the other section, not the primary, the other folder helps too, because then you can kind of weed through like who's been interested and whatnot. Yeah, the general. That's what I was trying to remember the word for. Some other questions too that I like to ask are like, what have they tried before? If anything, what kind of workouts they tend to lean to, how much they're willing to invest in their health and wellness every single month. And I always will ask them, like, do you plan on working out and living a healthy lifestyle for more than 30 days? Most of the time they say yes. And then if they do, I say there is a way that you can save 25% on your future orders if that's something you're interested in. And most of the time they say, yeah, I definitely want to save 25%. And then from there, then they can make that decision. I never want to put like words in anyone's mouth. And I know for me, like the 25% is why I invested and joined as a coach in the first place, was for the discount, because I knew the benefit. And especially now with the nutrition added with 2B Mindset and UPF in every single bundle, it's just a no-brainer. And I think, yeah, I love that you said that Brianna is leading with the nutrition aspect first. and like the workouts are a bonus. You know, I'm always talking about Shakeology first and how that's the value of the bundle pack, and then Beachbody On Demand for a year is $30 more, right? Like if you break down the bundle, like the 160 bundle to someone, you can always say like Shakeology every single month is about $130 without the discount. And then it's $30 more for the year of BOD, which is makes, and then you know, you're also getting all the other things, the nutrition and all that for 160. So leading with that and using the workouts as like an added bonus, because people do other workouts and stuff, and what's lacking in other programs is the nutrition and the lifestyle and how to sustain that and keep that, you know, and have the recipes. It's actually interesting. I was watching someone's stories and they were like, they made a reel about how annoying blog posts are for recipes because the bloggers are talking about some life story and it takes like years to get to the recipe. And we have recipes that don't have life stories. They're just like, this is what you need. Here's the cooking show if you want, or here's the recipes, and here's the grocery list, and you go do it. It's not like some long mumbo jumbo like inspo thing, right? So that's something that I've been talking about more is, hey, if you're tired of hearing about a blogger's life story when you're looking for a recipe, I have a solution for you. Like, our recipes don't have that, and it gets right to the point, and it saves you time and money. Because if you go to the grocery store with a list, you're more not than likely to stay on point with your list, right? Because you're checking it off, you know what you need. You're not like trying to remember things and like, oh, I need this or whatever. So I've been focusing more on nutrition and comments ever since the wake up call about that nutrition program. Yes. Can you see yourself using for the rest of your life? And that's another thing, is asking, once you get to that point, right? And you can send videos, like in my conversation, I'm sending videos, you know, people are going to ask like, what is 2B mindset? What is that? Like, I always send them a video, like, here are the two programs. Which one do you think and feel like is something that you can do for the rest of your life? Like Brand was saying. And then let them decide. And that's also what she talks about in 9-Week Control Freak, is you get to decide. She's not deciding on the food and all that, you know, she would recommend. You're making that decision for yourself, which I love. And I think a lot of the trainers are going to be doing that as well, because I think telling people what they should do, like, isn't, I mean, you can say that, tell us for yourself, but I feel like that's not always the best, right? People really have to decide what's best for them. Yum, fixate chicken soup. That sounds delicious. Yes. So nice not having a ton of other info crowding the screen. It's so true. And I didn't even like think about that, but I'm like, because I'm so used to using our recipes now that I forget that they're like, you know, stories long of people's stuff. Does anyone have anything else they want to share or feel like would be helpful? Because this will be recorded. I'll post the recording so that other people can watch it. And I hope that this is helpful. And again, like, every conversation is different. If you need help with your questions and just getting the hang of it, just the more that you do it and the more conversations you have, the more of a groove you'll get into. The more you know, you'll find your wording, you'll find how it makes you, you know, how you want to make sure it sounds authentic to you, right? And that it sounds good for you. So again, you know, do what works for you, but find kind of a follow-up system that works for you, whether it's flagging and moving to general, making a folder on IG. You know, you can save posts and put them into a folder. If you're like, oh, this is someone I want to connect with more, this is someone I need to follow up with, or using Streak and or Aidform. So there's you know, different ways of doing it. It all depends on what works for you. I'm gonna stop my share. Can we take a picture really quick before anyone hops off? And then if no one else has anything to share, we will call it a night.
I actually, just really fast, in my conversations when I'm talking to people, this might help. Sorry. I tell them that in my groups, I focus on nutrition first and then I supplement my workouts. And for some reason that seems to work really well for them. Like they like to hear that like, oh, that's what they focus on first. And then workouts it's not like just the focus of a workout either. So I don't know. It's been working for me. Like people have been like, yeah, let's do it. That sounds amazing. So maybe like, I mean, I don't know what everybody's, strategy is, but maybe leading with nutrition first, like saying that, introducing that program first, and then saying like, then use this program to do your workouts, but focus on the nutrition program first,
Yeah, and like giving them the guidelines or like the calendar of the videos. So whether they decide on Tubi or UPF, they can watch the videos and then like you can check in with them and be like, hey, like let me know when you finished video, whatever, and like we can talk about it. And I know Crystal just asked on her Instagram story the other day, like, what do people want to see more of? And I know a lot of people said they wanted to see more nutrition, and so she's been starting to share more. And also maybe doing like a poll like that on your Instagram, like, what do you want to see more of? What would interest you? What can I show more for you? Because I think you'd be surprised at how many people actually want to see nutrition ideas because they just like don't know. Anytime I share a new recipe, everyone's like, I need the recipe. I want to know. It looks delicious. And so just sharing that with them makes life easier. And adding that free value helps and brings people back. Like, when you're adding that free value, that's what brings people back. Okay, everyone unmute their video that can. And if not, it's totally okay. I'm making us full screen. Okay, that's okay, Ivy. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Aw, so cute. We're all sparkly. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop the recording.